All right. All right. Hi, ladies. Hello. Hello, ladies. Where are the rest of my pictures? Hello, ladies. All right. So, I was asked a question, an amazing question from one of the supporters of Wifey for Lifey, and it was a really good question. I have my tea here, my Earl Grey. I love Earl Grey tea, and I also love English breakfast tea. So let's get right into it. I don't want to waste time. I just want this to be quick, short, and sweet. And if you guys have any other topics, please feel free to go under any one of my pictures and leave your request for topics that you want me to do in the private Wifey for Lifey group that is on Patreon. You can find a link to my private group at the link in my bio. So if you go to my main page and click the link there, it will take you to a link to my private group. If you just want to ask me a general question, I can't promise you when I will get to that question because you guys, I have a lot going on. It's a crazy time in the world right now. It's a crazy time for me, but I am blessed. I am fine, but it's just, I have a lot on my plate. So if it's not a super personal question, just go under any one of my pictures and leave a topic or leave a question. If it's a personal question, you can DM me. But if you DM me, just know it may take a while for me to get back to you. All right, so the question that I received is, what is a characteristic of a traditional woman? Now, first I want to say that a lot of women will tell you it's associated with things like not having a job, not having a career, wearing pink, always being docile and sweet and nice and not having an opinion. That is not the characteristic of a traditional woman. They may be things that are associated with being traditional, but I want to be short and sweet about what the core of a traditional woman is, or what the characteristics of traditional women are. Now, I want to say that I grew up in a traditional structure. My father is a minister, so I grew up in a Christian home my whole life. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, doesn't mean I do everything right. It just means I've always had that foundation, and I'm so glad that I did. As I get older and, go into my middle age part of my life, I'm so happy that I have that foundation and that I know who Christ is in my life. And so I grew up in a 2-parent home with parents who were married. My grandparents were married. My sister's married. Everyone in my family is married. Same as my husband. Almost everybody in our families are married. So we grew up with this foundation of traditional values. Now, conservatism plays a part in traditional values, although a lot of liberal people are actually conservative, but that's a different topic. So let's talk about just the general characteristics of a feminine woman. We allow our femininity to shine, okay? We want to be women. We have no problem with being women. We want to be treated as women, not as men. We know that our roles are completely different from men, although in the workplace, you might share some roles. We're not talking about the workplace right now. We are strictly talking about, traditionalism, okay? Can you guys hear me fine? If you can hear me, can you just say yes? If you guys can hear me clearly, can you just tell me yes? Because I'm not sure. Nobody's really saying anything. So we let our femininity shine. We don't try to compete with men. It's not a competition. We're not here to compete. If anything, we want to be treated better than men. And when I say better, it's not that we're trying to use men, or we look at men as some object or a bank, or as to be our slaves. No, we just want to be treated like soft, feminine women. All right. So the first core principle of a traditional woman is you believe in your femininity and you embrace everything that comes with being a woman. And that could be having children. That could be adopting children. You don't have to have, everybody doesn't want to have their own children. Okay. So let's be clear on that. It doesn't make you less of a woman if you choose not to have children. God told us to populate the earth, but the earth does not need to be populated anymore. We have a lot of people on the earth. So I want people to understand biblical context. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Biblical context. There are lots of ways to be a parent. You could choose to be a foster parent, which I am really considering in the future. But right now, I don't believe God's plan for my life is to have children. That could change tomorrow. That could change the next day. But I think there are more than one ways to serve as a mother. So I want to be clear for all of you who are struggling with infertility. I don't know what that feels like, but for those of you who are struggling with infertility, or you feel pressured to have children, get yourself together. Don't bring children into this world and you don't have yourself together. So traditional women, we are pro-family. We are pro-children. We believe you should have as many children as you want in the confinement of marriage. We love children and we love family. And we know that family is the foundation of society. So we embrace everything that encompasses being a woman, from our beauty to our bodies to our personalities and to the unique things that we only can bring as women. The second thing I want to say is we are pro-marriage, okay? We are pro-marriage. No, I have myself together. It's just that having children is a choice. I know a lot of you ladies think like that's just what people do willy-nilly, but having children is a choice. So the question is, do I want to dedicate my life to being a mom right now, or do I want to shop like I do and travel the world and really focus on being a mom? So that's a choice I get to make. I get to choose whether I want to have natural children, or whether I want to adopt, or whether I want to be a foster mom, or whether I just want to work on my career and focus on, I don't have a career like outside of the house. I'm a housewife. So I have projects that I work on. I work on the investing part of my relationship. I do all of that. I'm the entrepreneurial outlet in my relationship, I guess I could say. And so I can choose to work. I could choose not to work. I could choose to have 500,000 children if I want to, or I could choose not to have children ever. It doesn't make me less of a woman. It doesn't make you less of a woman. It doesn't make you less of a traditional woman. But we are pro-marriage. We are pro-family. We are pro-children. We're not against that. We would never speak against motherhood, dedicating yourself to marriage, dedicating yourself to be a full-time mom. Traditional women, we don't speak against that, but we make individual choices for ourselves based on our lifestyle and based on what we want, So, but have children responsibly is my biggest thing. You guys know I was an educator for over 10 years. I've worked with children my whole life. If you know you're in a situation where you and your husband are not financially stable, y'all do not have a home, y'all can barely feed yourself, well, that is God indicating to you that, you may not be ready for children. Now, if oopsie, which is how a lot of babies are created in this world, don't go and terminate your pregnancy. That's not God's plan. Pray. God will always make provision for you, but don't do silly things. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Don't be silly. Now, if a mistake happens, don't terminate your pregnancy. Go with God. Believe he's going to provide for you. Okay. So we're pro-marriage and we believe in marriage. We believe that we should do things in decency and in order. And we have expectations of the men that are in our life. We have expectations with the men that we choose to have children with, We have expectations with the men that we choose to call our husband. There are expectations, and we believe that truly, that sex really is for marriage, okay? And this doesn't make you a bad person if you have had premarital sex. It doesn't mean, you're going to hell. What it means is you need to repent. If you know you've been having sexual relations all willy-nilly, if you know you're having sex with someone who's not your husband, that's not pleasing in God's eyes. That's biblical. That's facts. It's not an argument. So we always know that if we feel that sexual attraction to a man, if we know that we cannot live an abstinent life or a celibate life, then marriage is for you, because you're not going to be able to be abstinent. So you need to get married. Okay, you don't get married to anybody. You make a you make a prayer, you get yourself together, and you present yourself to be selected by your husband, because we don't chase men. That's another traditional trait. We don't chase men, but we do prepare ourselves physically, emotionally, spiritually. Okay. And so this is not to bash and say, oh my gosh, you're a terrible person if you have premarital sex. It's not about that. It's about your relationship with God. Okay. And I'm going to do a topic on virginity. Virginity is not a badge of honor. Okay. It's not like you paste it on yourself and like, I'm a virgin, and that's the first conversation you have with every man you talk to. I was a virgin up until I met my husband, but it wasn't a badge of honor. Okay. We don't walk around with a badge of, oh, I'm a virgin. Your virginity is has to do with your relationship with God. Okay. It has nothing to do I'm not going to say it has nothing to do, but it has more to do with your commitment and you honoring God, and less to do with what people think of you, or I'm bringing you this present, and the present is my virginity. Yes, it's good if you could present your body in that way to your husband, but that's not why people should remain abstinent, or why people should remain a virgin. You should remain a virgin because that's what God wants you to do, not to please or impress other people. Okay, it's not a cape that you put on your back that says virgin. All right, so I am going to do a video about that, but we're pro-marriage. Traditional women, everything is marriage. First marriage, then the baby carriage, then live happily ever after. If you and your family, if you choose to have a family early in marriage, or if you choose to wait late in marriage, that's your business. You do it how you want to do it, but we do things in decency and in order. Okay, so we're pro-marriage. All right. Equality doesn't exist with traditional women. Okay, we're not trying to be equal with our husbands. All right, we're equal in God's eyes. So this is not a competition about, you can't tell me what to do, and no, I'm not going to respect you as the leader because I got my own, and I got my own job, and I got my own money, and you don't get to tell me what to do, and I'm equal to you, and we're in this tug of war of who's in charge and who's not in charge. No. We follow the biblical order of things, which is God is at the top, okay? Then the husband, then the wife, then the children. That is the biblical order of things. And this has nothing to do with who's better, who gets treated better. I mean, all this is silly. All this is very, very, very silly. So I found this quote on the internet, and I think it's funny. A relationship with no gender roles. We both hustle, we both cook, we both clean, we both pay, we both spoil each other. And a lot of people go into relationships with this mentality that somehow you're equal to your husband. But when you go into a relationship with this I'm equal mentality, you're probably not going to get treated like the queen that we all want to be so desperately. Okay? I don't want to be treated equal to my husband. I want to be treated better. Okay? I don't want to be treated equal. When we walk to a door, I want him to open it. Okay? When we walk into a nice restaurant, I want him to pull out the chair. Okay? I want him to ensure that all these bills are paid. Okay? I want him to put me first. I don't want to be treated equal to my husband. Now, in the work world, this is different. All right, we're not talking about on your job. See, that's the problem with a lot of women. They treat their relationships like they're on their job, okay? This is not a job. This is a covenant we're talking about. This is a relationship. So I'm not here to be treated equal. I'm here to be treated like a woman. All right. Treat me like a woman. All right. Treat me soft and delicate and loving, with concern, with care, and I'm going to do the same for you. I'm going to allow you to be the man that God made you to be, and I'm going to be in your corner, and I'm going to be the support system and the helpmate, and I'm going to be there for you when you're up and when you're down. Because ladies, there's this message on the internet that is, men provide. But what happens if your husband loses his job? Are you now going to become a prostitute and prostitute yourself to the highest bidder? What happens when your husband gets sick? He gets cancer. He gets terminally ill. You're going to leave his side after everything he's done for you? So a lot of these messages on the internet are very strange. They're very weird. And it's going to cause you to destroy yourself. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about having a relationship with God. God will allow you to destroy yourself because we have free will. The times where I was falling off and backsliding, God only helped me when I wanted to change. Okay? So you have to want to change your mentality about life and about what's important. And that coincides with your values and your morals and who you believe you are. And so we don't leave our husbands when they're in destitute because we chose competent men who work hard. And marriage is through thick and through thin. It's through ups and it's through downs. And so you have to come into this marriage with a mentality like that. A lot of women, the men can see right through you. You're selfish, you're self-absorbed, you think it's all about you, and it's really about us. It's not about just you. It's about us as a team. All right. So traditional women, we don't fall into these social justice warrior roles. We're not trying to be equal with our husbands. We're not trying to compete with our husbands. We're trying to be women, and we have different roles. Okay. All right. Next, I want to talk about we have conservative ideals and we believe in gender roles, okay? Traditional women believe in gender roles, okay? We are not modern day feminists, all right? We believe in gender roles, all right? We believe that a woman is the heart of the home. She takes care of her home. That is her top priority. Her top priority is to take care of her home, keep a clean home, a home that's pleasant. That includes your attitude. That includes, how you interact with your husband and your family and your children. We are, like I said, we are pro-family. We're pro-God. We're pro-family. We're pro-Second Amendment rights. We are pro everything that's productive in society. That's what traditional women represent. And we usually hold on to conservative ideals. We are not modern day feminists, okay? We don't believe we lack. We don't believe that the patriarchy is going to take us down. We understand how to navigate in society as feminine women, and we're happy and we're fulfilled, and we believe that each person has roles. And so Halle Berry is one of the persons, one of the people that I came across on the internet, and she was saying a quote, something like, I will never have a traditional marriage again. I understand she's not good at marriage. So I do understand what she's trying to say. And she's like, I don't find value in that, but I still want love. I still want love and I still want commitment. Well, listen, there's nothing wrong with her perspective because she can choose to love how she wants. And if she doesn't want traditional marriage, that's fine. That's not really the point I'm making. The point I'm making is If you believe you can make the rules of marriage up yourself, you are not a traditional woman. You are a liberal woman. And so you need to probably find somebody that is also liberal and that believes they can make up the rules of marriage. You could just make them up. Just pluck them out the sky. Oh, this is what marriage means. Oh, we do threesomes. This is what marriage means. Oh, we swing. That's what marriage means. Oh, we have an open marriage. This is what marriage means. Traditional women are not like that, okay? We follow the biblical principles of marriage. We believe marriage is between a man and a woman. We believe what the Bible says about marriage, that wives should respect their husbands, work in their homes, be productive, be kind, be lovely, be leaders. And we believe that our husbands are the head of, not the home. That's not even what the Bible says. The Bible doesn't even say that the man is the head of the home. The man is the head of the woman, okay? That does not mean that our husbands slap us and abuse us and cuss us out and talk down to us. That means we give the husband the respect as the leader and as the provider and as someone who takes care of us. So whether we're mad with our husbands, we respect them. When we're happy with our husbands, we respect them. We never step outside of that respectful role as a wife. We learn how to communicate effectively using different strategies. And usually we get the things that we want. Sometimes we don't, but most of the times we do. Because the Bible tells husbands to love their wives as themselves. And that is a very serious statement. And if your husband loves you like he loves himself, well, how could he be mistreating you? How could he be mistreating you? Because he loves you like he loves himself. So there is no fear in being submissive. I know that's an outdated word for a lot of people, and it makes them, that word submission, it gives them convulsions and it makes them go crazy. But what I was saying about, Halle Berry is the fact that she wants to make her own rules up for marriage, which is fine. America is a free country. You could do as you please. You could do whatever you want. You could believe whatever you want. Listen, I'm not trying to get people to believe what I believe. I'm trying to pull people in that feel as though God is convicting them about maybe how they've been living their life. And maybe they feel God is saying, well, there's a better way. There's a better way to pick a spouse. There's a better way to navigate as a woman. I'm not here trying to convince people to believe what I believe. I believe what I believe. It's not going to change. I'm not going to defer from it. I'm not here to convince liberals to become conservatives. I'm not here to convince women to stop having premarital sex. I'm not here to convince women to stop having children out of wedlock with men who have not committed to them first. I'm not here to do that. I'm just here to present ideas and belief systems that are not based in what I say, but that they're based in what the Bible says. Okay. So if Halle Berry wants to be liberal, that's fine. But here's the thing. It's not working for her. Okay. It's not working. So traditional women, we hold on to those principles and values that have been proven to work. Okay. People can argue with me all day about, single parent homes and single moms being able to do it, and they can do it. And, we live in a different time. And yes, we know that there are some great single moms out there that are working hard, that are trying to raise their kids with morals and standards, but it's not the same as a two-parent home. It's not. And anybody who says that is intellectually dishonest, doesn't know the statistics, and doesn't know the facts. They're just speaking from an emotional standpoint. Children need a two-parent home. They want a two-parent home. And over my career, some of the children that were well-rounded and that were happy and that did the best came from two-parent homes. And the children that were sometimes a little shaky, a little, into things that they shouldn't have been doing, maybe had self-esteem issues, those were single parent home children. And that's just facts. So I'm not going to argue with people about facts. If you want to know the facts, Google them. They're there all over the internet. All right. So the second to last thing about traditional women is we encourage chivalry. All right. We encourage chivalry. We really believe that men should be kind to women, and that men should, in their masculinity, they really love feminine women. Masculine men love feminine women, and they respond to it so well. They respond to our bodies well. They respond to our requests well. They respond to our love that we give them well. They respond to our need to be treated as women well. And we encourage, it doesn't mean that your husband's going to be the most romantic guy in the world, because my husband is not super romantic. He's thoughtful, he's kind, he's loving, but he's not super, super romantic, and every day he's bringing me home flowers. Like, that's just not who he is. But I know he loves me abundantly. He loves me so much, and he proves it, and he shows it to me. And so we encourage men to really treat us special like women. And a man can't treat you special when you're trying to be equal to him, when you're trying to compete with him, when you are loud, when you are obnoxious, when you are a liar, when you are aggressive, when you are promiscuous. Men are not going to treat you chivalrous when they know you give your body to anyone. You are everyone's. You don't belong to anyone. You're everyone's. Okay? And so men will be chivalrous. They will show chivalry. The hardcore men that you think are so mean, no. Femininity breaks all of that down. Okay? Now, they're not going to be simps or beta males. They're not going to go against their principles, their morals, what they believe in. They're going to be stubborn in what they believe. But femininity can break down a man in such a beautiful way. When I say break down, I don't mean break down in a weak way. I mean, allow him to open up and really trust you, and trust that you are in his corner and that you are for him. And I've seen it in my own marriage. And let me tell you something. When I started working on myself, and I'm still working on myself and my personality flaws, I haven't arrived. I'm not some relationship guru, or, I'm just here talking about what I'm passionate about, which is marriage, traditional values, faith, femininity. This is my passion, okay? And so it's not that I'm some guru or some expert, because I still have things that I have to work on as a wife. I still have to work on my personality. I still have to work on my relationship with God. I have not arrived, but the things that I have learned, I come on this platform and I share it with other women in hopes to impact the younger generation so that you can have an abundantly blessed life that is full. And you can have great self-esteem about yourself. And so you can give back to younger women as you get older, and you can be a resource and a tool and a friend to another woman, to another wife. That's why I'm here. It's all about community. And so, my husband, when I started changing, I saw my husband change. So I didn't expect him to change and say, oh, treat me nice, dote on me, love me, treat me like a woman. No. I had to change my attitude. And then I saw him blossom when I changed. So we believe in chivalry. We believe in women being women and men being men. And so the last thing I want to say before I get out of here is, and I'll take questions. If anybody has any questions for me, I'll take questions now. So if you have a question, go ahead and type it, because I'm about to get out of here. Trying to be a man is a waste of your time. Trying to be a man is a waste of time. Society is pushing us to be, really masculine. We got to be boss chicks. You have to make this amount of money. You have to wear this. You have to do this. And that's why I tell you guys sometimes in my posts to turn the TV off. Turn Instagram off. Sometimes you need to get into your prayer corner with yourself and rediscover who God created you to be. Because this world is going to send all kinds of messages. You need to do this. You need to be having that. You need to look like this. You need to do this. And some of that is good. I believe in leveling up. I believe in leveling up your life, leveling up your spirituality, leveling up your looks, leveling up your money. I believe in all of that. But we have to put things in. All right, guys, so I'm going to get out of here. I don't see any questions. It looks like my connection is starting to act up. The devil is busy, but you don't have to compete with men. We're not talking about in the workplace, okay? This is not a workplace conversation. This is a relationship conversation with a man and a woman. How do you balance being independent versus not being a man versus being feminine and letting your husband lead? Well, I think this is very difficult for modern women. This is a very difficult thing for modern women because as a woman, I'm educated. I'm college educated. I actually went and pursued my master's. I might need to come in and come back out. My internet is tripping. I'm sorry, my internet's going out. But it's hard as a modern day woman because we are educated. We do make our own money. And so for the woman that's not educated in the sense of college and she's not used to making a lot of money, they don't sometimes understand. I do understand because I've made a lot of money and I am educated. But I decided to step back at a certain point in my career, take a break, and allow my husband to step into the role that he was always supposed to be in. And that's why I don't work right now. And that's why I don't know if I ever will go back to a traditional job or to working a job again, because I just enjoy being home now. I enjoy being a homemaker. I enjoy cooking for my husband almost every day, unless we're going out. I enjoy like decorating my home. I'm getting into all of these things that I really didn't have time for when I was, trying to be a boss chick. So I feel like you have to believe that your husband is capable of being the man that you thought he was when you married him. And you need to step back and allow him to make some decisions without you running your mouth. You need to step back and allow him to blossom. You need to be his helpmate. You need to give a good steward of money management. A lot of women don't know how to manage money. I was one of those women. We don't know how to manage money. We don't know how to create a budget. We don't know how to use the tools and the resources and the talents that God has given us effectively. And so you have to work together as a team, and together you and your husband have to come to a decision on, finances. If you want your husband to make more money, you have to learn how to be an asset to him so that he can progress himself and make more money and put you in a situation where you're able to rest in your femininity. That is one thing I learned too late in life. I was raised in a family where go get your education, always have your own money, which I still believe in. I still believe women should have their money. But when I say my own money, it just means that I'm talented, so I have ways to make money, but it's still my husband's money. Everything is ours. It's not my money and his money. And this is why people are unsuccessful in marriage, because they think you can still act single and be married. You can't still act single and be married. I don't hide money from my husband. I have my own accounts. He has his own accounts. I have a business account. He can go in any one of my accounts. He doesn't, but that's not the point. The point is it's ours. And when some of you ladies come out of this single-mindedness, your husbands will be more of a provider towards you. So it takes time, and you might need to talk to someone, talk to other wives. You might want to join Wifey for Lifey and so we can chat in the group and have this conversation, because there's some things I don't want to say publicly online, but that's the generic version. Do you feel that maybe you have wrong approach at delivering your message? Sounds very judgmental. No, I don't, because you don't have to watch me. So, if you think it's judgmental or it's ignorant, you're the ignorant one for watching me. That makes you dumb. That doesn't make me dumb. That makes you dumb for watching me. Because if you don't like my delivery, if you don't like my message, you don't have to follow my page. So flip those words on yourself and ask yourself, why am I ignorant? Watching someone who I think is judgmental, who I think cannot bring me good information. Why am I watching that person? Because that makes you the dumb one, baby girl. That makes you the dumb one. How do you balance it? I think that if you're asking me how I balance like my businesses and being a wife and femininity, I mean, I think that prayer and humbling myself, I had to humble myself in my relationship, and I had to realize like, okay, I'm not always right, or my perspective is not always right, and I had to humble myself. And I think that a lot of women, you want men to humble themselves to you, but you are unwilling to humble yourself to your man. And I had to step back and take a reflective look at myself. I had to take a look at, how I communicated with my husband. I had to look at like my career. I wanted to change my career. I really wasn't happy being in the classroom anymore. At that time, I was blogging and I was... Okay, I'm going to get out of here because the internet's acting up. But that's how you have to humble yourself. And you have to talk to your spouse, and y'all have to work together as a team. How did you do that on your live where you have the quote up? Okay, I will do a tutorial on Earn with Kim. I'll do a post on Instagram. If y'all want to learn how to do this, I'll tell y'all. All right, so that's it. So the last question I have is, please give us practical ways on how you become more feminine to your husband and how it was received and changed the relationship for the better. Yes, I will do that. That's a very good one. So I'll create some Instagram posts on like how I was able to like become more feminine to my husband. And I'll actually ask him, I want the perspective to come from him. I'll ask him some ways that he thinks that... I know communication was a huge way, so I can talk about that, but I'll have to ask him like the other ways that he thought that I was like, that I've been able to become more feminine and, like really ease into my role. And y'all keep in mind, I'm not 25. This is life experience, okay? I'm not 25, I'm not a young girl anymore. I'm a grown woman, and I have life experience. And so don't be too hard on yourself. I didn't have all this information when I was 25 or even when I was 30. I didn't have all this information. So, don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself time to produce good fruit in your life. All right, the devil's trying to block my blessings, but I will talk to you guys later. Bye.